Welcome to Radio Essence. My name is Susanne Lindberg. I'm recording from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. When I got this idea about this recording about half a year ago, I started with the things I wanted to tell during this introduction I did last week. And for the rest, I had no idea what is going to happen with this, what direction it would take. I couldn't imagine. I found out two things since last week. One thing is just before, a couple of days before last recording, I suddenly had the subject for today in my head, starting to turn around what kind of aspect. What was first coming in my mind was, let's say these things that has changed so much the last 10, 20 years. Information, communication, and so on, and altogether something I then gave the title Information Era. A couple of days before this recording, I get suddenly my practice, my work in my head, and as a subject for next recording, and I'm very happy about that. My ideas earlier was that kind of let it leak in a little between kind of my approach, and just like how as it goes. I can't tell you everything about my work on this radio station. That I want to explain, as well as I will want to explain why has been so difficult for me to explain what I'm doing. And spend 1 hour, get it together, and hope that it gives kind of clear picture, as far as possible, a clear picture of my practice. And so next when someone comes and asks a kind of, what are you doing? What kind of work? I have this recording, and the trying to explaining time is over. The second thing I found out has to do with the subject today, and it gave me suddenly a feeling of my so-called introduction. It reminds me about those leaflets. I always had to write something to get my courses going, and I was never happy with them. But still, it did work some way. I don't know how. Because including in this subject today, information, manipulation, news, communication, it's a broad subject, and the things I decided to focus on was two aspects. One is attention. And suddenly it is like my first lesson giving a course, because every first lesson I start with attention. It's a huge subject, and if you check your own language, the only time you use the word attention is in doing. What I will not explain here, but do during my work, is what is attention. And it's so fundamental in the tool I use, in what I have achieved. One of the things are here and now. My definition of here and now goes much further than the normal kind of idea about here and now. About now, it's connected with time. You do hear things that sounds a little bit like my direction. About here, I hardly ever hear the same kind of definition I use about here and now. So, attention being such a basic thing in living your daily life. I will make a story out of that one day. When using this subject in courses, I do have certain approaches to choose between, but there are certain approaches that I do not include during my courses, and that's something I could do here. And I like the idea. It's I found a place where I can share these things as well. So that's one thing for today. The other things are actually I want to ask a lot of questions. I don't want to give information as much as I want to ask. It's that kind of questions that it's a kind of questions that if you want to make choices in life, these are the kind of questions to use. Or you can just take the path that happen to be in front of you, but you have the ability to make choices. And I love the kind of questions that I don't hear anyone asking. I question about everything. Put everything upside down. I love it. What I want to tell is that if there is someone out there asking the same kind of questions, making the same kind of conclusion, and maybe doing the same kind of work, if listening to the next week recording, I would love to know that, but because I don't know anyone, I haven't read anything or something that looks like what I'm doing and my approach. So please, I would love to hear from someone. So I can't be alone in the world, because my approach does work. Okay, I recognize certain things sometimes. One thing I can remember is I listened to, what's his name, John Trudell? He's a Native American. And in that what I listened to, I recognize a lot of my own thoughts, but with complete different kind of vocabulary. So if this being the first lesson of a course, let's start working. I for sure don't want to sit here teaching, but let's join our minds and our emotions and see where it takes us. I would like to start with the opposite of attention, and that's distraction. There's so much today that I don't know even where to start. I did forget the entertainment industry. Like, what does it do to your life? This thing of kind of created need of constant entertainment. If you're not working, you should be entertained. Television, blah. Yeah, there's enough. We're so in the middle of it, so it's hard to kind of look at it. You have to go back 50 or 100 years, and how did the people live then? Who are we? Where are we today? In some way, it's like it's not wrong. It's wonderful to go and watch a movie, and I watch television every day, and kind of like distraction has a function. Distraction work like we do not need to face our thoughts, our own feelings. We don't need to face ourselves. We are always distracted towards something else outside ourselves. And television, computers are kind of pulling our attention like magnets. I mean, they're super in doing that. Do we ever make a choice in this? something I've experienced, and it's actually the question part of this recording, is like what would happen without all this input. I had to stop the input. I told during the introduction I've had 4 years of collecting data I haven't studied, not much. And I even had to stop watching the news, reading the papers. It was like this input of information that I wasn't choosing. It's there in the paper, it's there in your news, and you get what is served. I had to stop with this input until I was able to get on to output, like what I'm doing now. I've had kind of, let's say, a month. It was necessary for me to turn it around, to be able to try to make the effort of kind of putting something out there. I'm sure it's not like this for everyone, but for me, it has been very clear that this thing, information, let's talk about news, stream. How does that, I mean, let's say I started my day next to the breakfast, computers, checking CNN, Volkskrant, Dagens Nyheter. So there we have three languages, news. How does that influence my day? You can say that you go to work and you have something to talk about. And if you're not up to date, you miss something, and so on. Yeah, if you want to have your communication with your colleagues on that level, yes, it's super. But what does it do? I can't put it very well in words at this time what the difference has been, but I would if I again started my breakfast with this with murder here, war there, all these things. What I have done is I have peeked a little bit sometimes, and I've seen that is there anything that concerned me? No. And things are always going on somewhere on earth. Every day there is a catastrophe happening somewhere. And me watching it doesn't change anything. It's like something is happening on the street, someone has an accident. When that's happening to me, I ask myself, can I be of any help? Twice I have been able to really help that situation, putting a thing in the neck of the right place before the ambulance came. Another time it was someone who got in this state of I don't know what it is. It's a kind of panic state. Someone got out of consciousness, and I was capable of getting him back. And I said, when the ambulance came, I said, if I stop what I'm doing, he will get into that state once again. So yes, he did. But those two has been exceptions where I've been at the right place at the right time, and otherwise I ask myself, am I capable of doing something here? And mostly the answer has been no, and I just walk on. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to experience that thing if I can't add something of value to the situation. And the same thing with news. I look at it precisely the same. I have seen some interesting thing, but actually my biggest conclusion is like, it's like going back to the time here, beginning of when I came to the Netherlands. I didn't know thing of what was going on here, and I didn't need to. I was a foreigner, and yeah, you hardly got a Swedish paper. It was hard to get one, but sometimes I got one. I did take the step of getting a television because I thought, yes, that's a good way to improve my language and to, after a couple of years, to become a part of the society, of being more involved. But I wonder when that was. I can't remember. It took several years. So I'm a little bit back in that and present and dealing with what is here at this moment now. The question I have for you to ask yourself is, what kind of output don't you get to? I mean, is there something? Is it something of creativity, of sharing with yourself, something that do not get out, don't get it can be even do not get discovered as you are served with information, entertainment, communication, things for just getting in. I don't, it's a big question, but I think it's time to answer it. I can say I'm concerned about the youth today, and it is something that actually been for every generation. I think it is a generation thing. We're concerned about the youth, but they're being brought up with these kind of things. How much space do they have to discover themselves? I mean, already the school is functioning like putting in, instead of them discovered what they have inside, what qualities, what person and everything too. And creativity, if it's good school, there is some space for it, but not much. And with the computers today, computer games and everything, there's constant distraction. And this, like, we have to be entertained 24/7 if we're not working. Entertainment if we're not working or sleeping. I know people who come home and they put on the television. The first thing they do. I know at least two persons. What I now want in my house is music. What style, it differs a lot. I made a kind of I have had a kind of discussion with my media player. My music, I play it now on my computer. And I had a discussion with my media player of, please, can you play music that is according to my mood at this moment? And then I turn on shuffle and let it play. In the beginning I sometimes have to jump kind of one or two numbers until I get to something, and this feels good at this moment. So when I feel like I need to get in peace, I want to get to my center, that's the music I get. And when I need to get in action, when I am in action, there's the music. This is input that enhance, stimulate what is already inside of me. And I don't need to do the effort of finding out where is that kind of peace I would like to have. How far that has gone, I mean, I love this kind of thing. Sometimes in my life it's kind of full of things. I've passed the stage of calling it coincidences maybe 20 years ago or something. I had finished my recording of last week's introduction. I put it on some music, and what comes? A very short little piece comes with. It's from a place in Sweden I just love. With a musician who meant very much to me. After he died, he came 3 times to me, giving me messages. I don't talk with dead people. I have enough with the living ones. So, but this happened to me. He came clearly, gave me messages 3 times. And I got that piece of music after I finished my first introduction. Okay, without being happy with it, I got the message. Then it was to make a video out of it, and it was more complicated than what I thought. I had seen something that more fitted what I needed, but I couldn't find it, so I had to work very hard to get it together. And when it was finished, the computer did the rest. I put on some music, and there came a album. It's not my favorite, but it was Era, E-R-A. And the name of the album was, I didn't know it existed, I didn't remember it existed. The name of the album was The Essence. Just after I finished my video called Radio Essence, my first broadcasting. I love these kind of things. So, try it yourself. It works for me. I haven't heard anyone else doing like this, but you can try. But this is one way for me of talking about this kind of information that gets you distracted, and information that can get you enhance who you are. One of those things I want to challenge you, and you take your time and think about these things and make your own decision, just like you want. The thing of distraction, it's good. I use it myself. It's like when I'm not ready to face a certain things, certain emotion, certain thing. Distraction is super. We all have our path in life. So I'm not sitting here and telling, oh, you shouldn't be busy with this distraction and so on. It is your own path in life, and it is your own choice. But let it be a choice, not something that just by itself kind of enters your life and there you are. We have communication. SMS. I don't know if that's English, but text messaging is an English word, I think. I know someone who all the time the only communication, if he's not present, that works is SMS, text messaging, and it irritates me so much. He has even started with this kind of language that I don't even feel the need of learning. It's just, please, talk English and to talk Dutch to me. I mean, what I miss is when he gets into discussions with text messaging. It's like the quality of communication is gone. And today it's more about quantity, and I want to take care of this quality in life. I like that. And otherwise, others choose not to, but to me, quality, especially in communication. There is misunderstanding enough in this world to then lower the quality of communication between people. It doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make this world a nicer place. Okay, we have the thing of being able to communicate with the whole world. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's wonderful with text messaging and text messages to be able to tell I'm 10 minutes late. I mean, it's wonderful. To me, they are there as well. Choices to make. Including this, I have this video, and I hope it's. I will look at it, so when you're listening, it's on my YouTube page. And then I will put this kind of make a playlist with the name Information Era. So connected with this program, I will place two videos. One is this man who is have a story to tell that I mean, giving mobile phone to our children. I don't think he's someone who easily can get into the mainstream news information, because it is controversial what he's saying. I have listened to a couple of interviews with this man, and this is the one that I found the most complete, and there were also very good questions asked. It is interesting to see that compared with the cigarette industry, certain things like the vaccination industry, mobile industry, is actually protecting themselves for eventual in the future claims of damage. So if people in the future get brain cancer, if things is found out through the vaccination industry and so on, they don't need to suffer any consequences. You do know the big claims made to the tobacco industry. I have in the past, I've seen in CNN, including a doctor who's telling the skull of a child is too thin, and the chance for brain tumor is too big. It's like information put out there like, yeah, smoking is bad, but people still smoke. And at the same time, CNN, of course, give the other sides. Okay, oh, there's no proof that. I don't know this information this man is bringing out. It's not my knowing. My knowing is my experience. And if I talk half an hour or more on a mobile phone, I strongly feel like my brain is cooked or fried. And it's not pleasant. So I know for a fact, from my own experience, that it's not good. So please listen to this man. And I don't use my mobile phone as much, and for sure I put it further away from my bed while I'm sleeping, and I sleep better. So there are choices to be made, and I never bring it with me, or only when I know I'm expecting something I bring it with me, and when I think I can need it, but except that it's laying at home. So I'm not so modern, but it's my choice. I don't need to be reached at certain moments all the time. I did as well place another video, and it is the same as in my list of favorites. I like it, and it brings so good information out. Like what is information and what is propaganda. Let's say that if we would ask, I don't think people would ask, but let's say that we would ask, we want information instead of commercial. So this product get showed that here it's made by these people in what kind of circumstances. These are the material used, and this is a process for putting it together. This is how things are transported, and as well, how is it packed, with what kind of material. Let's say that we asked for this, we might be able to get it. But do we prefer the commercials? I suppose we do. I mean, someone standing with the Almhof yogurt in the Alp mountains with mountain cows, and it's supposed to be funny, but it has nothing to do with that thing she's holding in her hands and eating and saying, "Oh, it's so good." It treats me as if I'm stupid. And if there was information out there, then we have the choice: do we want to look at it or don't we? But I mean, I have to repeat it. Are we not treated as if we are really stupid people? I thought I would. I thought I want to put out there as well. I have talked about my 4 years of collecting information, as well as I do not touch it at this moment. And what we have as well, choice of information, and that has been included nowadays, so we can choose compared with when I was young. And if someone is want to get into this kind of and study these things before I've got so far, then I can suggest read the Agenda 21. That's what many countries have signed up to after the Rio de Janeiro summit 1992, and it was kept quite secret in the beginning. Let's say all information I have about this is all the people, several people I've heard talking about Agenda 21. I have it. The main book is more than 1,000 pages, I think. So it's something I will read. There are books written about Agenda 21 as well. So the information I have now is second hand, so it's not my knowing. But this is a UN document, and from the information I do have, is that it controls all aspects of our lives. Slowly, it's kind of sneak into our life and in our society. So there will be complete control. There is the size of the apartment you may live in, the areas where you will be allowed to live in, and the areas where no people are allowed. Communication is controlled. If you may have children or not, it's controlled. Everything. It's actually supporting a lot of conspiracy theories out there. So if you want to study something, want to see other information, I would recommend that and see what is true, what is written. It's a UN document. It's now available on the UN page, I think. I can't remember where I found it. You have as well Georgia Guidestones. You can read it. It's written in stone. Just like a Stonehenge, modern Stonehenge monument. Text written in several languages. It's like it's delivered from Moses himself, like commandments. And very beautiful things, including the world population should be kept under 500 million people. It is written in stone, and that those thoughts are out there. It's not a popular view to come out telling. But you have Bill Gates, a video. He is talking in front of an audience, and it is like he skips a couple of words, but it's still quite clear. His motivation behind his vaccination programs all over the world and his Bill Gates Foundation, it's quite scary. It's I can't remember the name of the video. I have it somewhere. It's quite easy to find on the YouTube channel. Bill Gates. Then, yeah, one of my kind of sneak peek, one of my peak moments, I actually found an article, and it was just what I suspected. It's like the latest report on climate. It's an article written, I think, a couple of weeks ago. It's about that the report actually, you can make the conclusion that the last 16 years there hasn't been any global warming. This is the big climate study. So it's but it has kept, as far as I know, it's only this Daily Mail article, and it is a good one. So a couple of weeks ago, 16 years, no global warming, and actually Agenda 21, the motivation of this, the whole agenda actually kind of collapse, and therefore you don't read about it. I didn't read the whole thing. The reading of the I don't want to get into these things too much now, but I read the beginning, and it's an interesting article. So that is alternative information, and if you want more ideas of where to go, what to look for, and what to read, please send me an email, and I will see what I have, and please let me know what subject you're interested in. There is so much different kind of subjects out there, so that's about choosing your information. Another thing I would like to read myself, one of the first things I would like to grab as alternative as studying this, is the Iron Mountain report. It was during the Kennedy years. Some a group of so-called wise men get together in the underground facilities in the Iron Mountain, somewhere, US. And what I've heard about it, without having read it, is that they make the conclusion of a society without any wars and conflicts is not appropriate. It's of course said that it's a false document, but of course if government makes such a study, would it go out and tell the public? So it's something I would love to read, to be able to try to make my own conclusions. One thing about this information, I told you I have a kind of bell or what signals like words or images or when reading papers, when watching the news, like the story of with Rita Verdonk that I told you last week. When I have collected this information, I haven't had that kind of bell functioning, and that concerns me. My idea about it is that if you watch the news, you are neutral. You just take the information in, and this thing that is intuition, emotional, has more space. During the time collecting this information, it's been very emotional, and I don't think it has been the space for this intuition to work. That's to me a very important reason to take distance to this. And see, because it is to me guidance, like the urge of checking this thing at this time, and I find this Daily Mail article, for example, that there is some, it's its guidance in it, it's its question in it. I have that ability. And when I start studying, I want it as let's say, a compass to guide me through this huge amount of material I have. I will probably start with a little corner. I have an idea that I have such good information about 9/11, a thing that has changed the world much more than we might be aware. Changed the US a lot, and because of that, it's good to mention. And the information I have is, and what I will further study, like a book I have that is maybe the only real research done. Do you know that this Clinton affair, this seed on the skirt, that it was more money spent on that investigation than on the investigation of 3 high tower buildings collapsing. The one who has done investigation is a private person, and she has specialities she needs. Judith something. Where did the towers go? So one more thing, if you want to study before I get to it, please, that's a book that is it's really interesting book. And let's see, her name is Judy Wood, and it's Dr. Judy Wood. Oh, and there are many interviews with her. There is one where she sit in the studio, and they shown pictures as well. That's very informative, maybe the most informative that is to be found. But where did the towers go? Judy Wood. And the last time I was on her website, it was very messy, but there's a lot of information. I was so amazed that it was very clear that there was no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So that gets out there as the truth. So, as a fact, that the basic reason for the war in Iraq, the second war in Iraq, was based on a lie or disinformation. So amazing. What is amazing to me is to see that other information around this story is believed. Okay, we know fact, this was disinformation, while other things are believed as good information. My big question in this story is, where do you say, no, this is enough? Where does things enhance the quality of my life, and when do I add things that are destructive to the quality of my life? I remember I was walking in the subway in Stockholm, T-Centralen, and I experienced suddenly I was looking around me like I was watching everything through glass. I was 18 and I stopped watching television because I didn't like that. I'd been watching a lot of television since I was a child. I'm from the generation where my parents changed from black and white to color television. There has happened so much since that time. And I joined the computer quite late. I know I boycotted computer lessons at school. I think we were the first class with computer lessons. And I boycotted it. And I thought I could because I was the math genius in the class. And I wanted to use my brain. I did work as a summer job. I worked in a computer department of a company and got to learn the inside a little bit when there were huge things. Long time ago, that was my first vacation job I had. Okay, that's that time. Look at the time now. I see that computer is. I wouldn't be able to do this without it. Mobile phone, fantastic, but I've limited my use with it. And I don't need smartphone. I don't need kind of special thing to kind of what is it? Oh, these call these things. There's nothing. I can't see any that it adds something to my life. I have now I have more than at least 5 gigabytes of books on PDF. I will when I'm ready with this kind of Brickstone book I have next to me, a book I never finished before, Blavatsky, The Secret Doctrine. When I finish with that, I will look for real books to put next to my bed. There's a Dutch soap opera I watched a long time ago, but recently I just happened to pass by, seeing in action kind of two guys in front of a television with guitars playing with the kind of figure there on the screen, on the television screen. Um, as a musician, is that music making? Is that fun? I mean, if those two persons turned against each other, they might have a little bit of. I mean, there might be some kind of joy and playfulness, and let's make music. And see those two guys standing in front of a screen. I don't even want a flat screen in my house. I mean, those things, those thick. As long as I can have this thick television at home, I want it, because I don't like the screen. There's something there with the light. I do not like it. As far as I can avoid it, I will. So people standing in front of their television doing things, I've been able to keep far away from that. It's like everything more and more we kind of get focused in front of the screen. Television. Everything can be put on the television nowadays. Computer. Everything to the screen. I just want to ask you, is this quality? Like two guys playing the guitars with a screen, while they could turn off the television and play with each other. For me, it's absurd. So when you grow up with things, it is different than when it's added later in life. I just wonder. I told you when I was 18, stopped watch television. I saw the bad influence it had on me. We have got much further, and it will go on. This is a development that I wonder, where is it in 10 years, 20, 50, 100? There is, this is things I will find among my collected information. In Silicon Valley there is a institute, a university, something like that, where they are strongly busy with connecting the human mind with computer and nanotechnique and those things, the kind of technique where the skin can't protect itself. It's so small particles, so it goes directly into our body. Or if I confuse it with something else, I'm not sure at this moment. But what I see when people talking who are busy with this kind of stuff is that they have no sense of what is a human being. Some way they were all confused with the mind. We have to develop our mind. We have to become better in thinking, and through doing. And to me it's a big misunderstanding. The brain, the mind, the thinking is just a computer. And I can tell you, we're not even thinking in our brain. All the time you can hear when we're thinking in our brain, it's complete misunderstanding. If you're in front of me, I can very easily demonstrate to you where you are thinking, and it's not in the brain. But developing this computer, there comes nothing out of the thinking, the brain, that is not put in. So there's no output without it. There has been an input. If there comes something creative out of through your thoughts, there has been an input from another place, and it's because creativity is not your brain, your thinking. So changing our brain, maybe it's for another time, but it's like they do not know what a human being is, and that they are changing. It's scary stuff. When are we? I want to ask the question: when is it enough? To me, 18 years ago, I saw the bad influence. No. To me, when I was 18 years of age, I saw the bad influence it had on me. And then there are studies telling, oh no, it's not bad, or is it telling it's bad. I know to myself it has an influence. As I know from a mobile phone, it does something to my brain. When you hear this information, you're sitting there with believing or not believing. And I just say, find out yourself. Because it's through experience that you know. And I have a difference in the information I'm giving you. The information that comes from my own knowing, and the information that I've heard somewhere. It's not my knowing. So we have to check our own information we have. Is it what you know, or is it what you believe, or you think that? If I watch the news or television, it's so popular, this thing of what people are thinking. It's like the value of knowledge and wisdom isn't there. Or people think that it's presented like it is the truth. And I just wonder, where does a society go who stays on the level of I believe, I think that, instead of wisdom and knowledge? So as a conclusion, maybe the most important question I can ask is, what is it of you that don't get the space to show itself, to materialize itself, like creativity, creating, or whatever, to blossom? I think it is can be just the soul, or it is can feeling alive, or what, or actually making pots, or digging in the ground, or communicating, being with people. For every person, it's completely different. But what is it of you that do not get the space to blossom in this information and entertainment era? It's a question I wish you ask yourself. And it might be a question you can answer immediately. It might be a question that is a big quest that takes years to find out. I don't know. But this is something I wish you to have. And for the younger people, it will be even more difficult to find out than the older, who have a background of something else, another life. So I think that is what I can present today. You might come back for another time. I hope next week that it will be interesting. And I find it exciting to do a real effort of putting this information together. And if you want to reach me, radioessence@hotmail.com. Thanks for this evening, this morning, and goodbye.